The stage was set for a routine segment on The View, but what unfolded between Whoopi Goldberg and White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt became a cultural flashpoint. A verbal showdown that reverberated across newsrooms, social media, and dinner tables. It wasn't a physical stage where they met. No, this wasn't a face-to-face clash like the fictionalized Colbert-Leavitt encounter we explored earlier. Instead, it was a war of words ignited by Leavitt's comments at her first press briefing on January 28, 2025, and Goldberg's fiery response the next day, January 29, on The View. The exchange, rooted in a deep ideological divide, wasn't just a fleeting TV moment. It became a lightning rod for America's polarized media landscape, with reactions pouring in from all corners, amplifying the tension and exposing raw truths about power, privilege, and the politics of wokeness. It all began when Leavitt, the youngest White House press secretary in history at 27, took the podium in the Brady press briefing room. Addressing a question about a temporary freeze on federal grants tied to diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs, she declared the Trump administration would ensure no more funding for transgenderism and wokeness across our federal bureaucracy and agencies. The word wokeness landed like a grenade, and by the next morning, it had reached the desk of The View. Whoopi Goldberg, a seasoned voice of liberal conviction, didn't hold back. "I would like this young lady to do a little homework," she said, her tone a mix of exasperation and authority. "She said something yesterday that pissed me off. She said, 'There will be no wokeness here. Let me explain something to you. Without that wokeness, you might not have that job.'" Goldberg's argument was pointed. The social progress Leavitt dismissed as wokeness paved the way for women, including Leavitt herself, to break barriers in spaces once dominated by men. She invoked Karine Jean-Pierre, the first Black and openly LGBTQ press secretary, as proof of doors busted open by decades of activism. "Women were not invited to many tables in this nation," Goldberg said, her voice rising. "We fought and busted our behinds to make sure you didn't have to worry about this." Yahoo.com, The View's co-host Joy Behar piled on, but her jab was sharper and more personal. "I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10, Behar quipped, implying Leavitt's appointment was tied to her appearance rather than merit. The comment drew gasps and murmurs from the audience, a mix of amusement and discomfort. It was a low blow, one that conservative commentators later seized on as evidence of hypocrisy. How could a show championing women's empowerment reduce a young woman's career to her looks? The exchange wasn't just a critique of Leavitt's politics. It became a referendum on The View's own credibility, with critics arguing the hosts resorted to personal attacks when their arguments faltered. The Dash Express.com, the media reaction was swift and divided, a mirror of the nation's fault lines. Conservative outlets like Fox News framed Goldberg's rant as a meltdown, accusing her of weaponizing wokeness to shame Leavitt while ignoring the Trump administration's mandate to curb what they see as ideological overreach. Goldberg lashed out, claiming wokeness got Leavitt the job, Fox reported, emphasizing the irony of a liberal icon dismissing a young woman's qualifications. Ben Shapiro called Behar's remark openly sexist, while Charlie Kirk labeled it disgusting and anti-woman on X, rallying conservatives around Leavitt as a victim of media elitism. Social media amplified the outrage, with posts like one from @Karoline Leavitt declaring, "Karoline Leavitt drops bombshell on Whoopi Goldberg. The View spins into total chaos," capturing the conservative glee at Leavitt's perceived defiance. The Express.com, on the other side, liberal commentators cheered Goldberg's takedown. HuffPost called it a brutal lesson on wokeness, praising her for exposing Leavitt's ignorance of the civil rights struggles that reshaped opportunities for women and minorities. The Root echoed this, noting that white women are the ones who benefit the most from affirmative action, a fact that Leavitt refused to acknowledge. Some on The View's panel, like Alyssa Farah Griffin and Sarah Haynes, offered measured takes, supporting Leavitt's move to open the press room to new media voices like podcasters and influencers, a nod to changing media consumption habits. But Sunny Hostin pushed back, insisting press credentials should be reserved for qualified journalists, while Goldberg remained skeptical, saying, "The proof is in the pudding." The liberal defense framed Goldberg as a truth-teller, calling out a young conservative who, in their view, was punching down at the very systems that enabled her ascent. The root of OMTVline.com, the clash didn't stay confined to TV. It spilled onto X, where hashtags like #Leavitt'sGoldberg trended alongside viral clips of Goldberg's rant and Leavitt's press briefing. A TikTok post with 250K followers hailed Leavitt's smile as she dismantled The View in one sentence, while others mocked Goldberg's meltdown as out of touch. Yet, the narrative took a bizarre turn when rumors of an $800 million lawsuit surfaced, with YouTube channels like Magnet TV Genius Data claiming Leavitt was suing The View for defamation over Behar's 10 comment and Goldberg's remarks. Snopes and Lead Stories debunked these claims, noting no evidence of any lawsuit existed, and the videos were AI-generated or heavily edited fabrications. A simple Google search showed us there is no evidence of a lawsuit, Snopes reported, calling out the pattern of YouTube channels concocting elaborate fictional tales for clicks. Despite the debunking, the rumor fueled conservative narratives, with posts like at Albertusposit20's Karoline Leavitt shreds Whoopi Goldberg and The View in epic clapback. Keeping the story alive, HOT, NOI that na shin bi si jong, Snopes, the deeper story here isn't just about a TV spat or a press briefing. It's about a nation wrestling with its own language. Wokeness, once a term for awareness of social injustice, has become a political weapon, embraced by some as a badge of progress, wielded by others as a slur against overreach. Goldberg saw Leavitt's rejection of it as a betrayal of history, a young woman dismissing the sacrifices that made her role possible. Leavitt, meanwhile, used it to signal a break from what conservatives view as bureaucratic dogma, aligning with a base that cheers defiance of liberal orthodoxy. The media's split reaction, Fox News hailing Leavitt's fearless stance, HuffPost lauding Goldberg's scolding, shows how little common ground remains. Even the lawsuit rumors, though false, reveal a hunger for resolution, for one side to win in a culture war that thrives on escalation. What lingers is the rawness of it all. Goldberg's anger wasn't just about Leavitt. It was about a generation seeming to reject the battles she fought. Leavitt's poise at the podium wasn't just about policy. It was about claiming space in a media world she sees as hostile. The View's studio audience, caught between cheers and unease, mirrored a country unsure whether to pick a side or tune out. Media outlets, from The Independent to Wonderwall, kept the story churning, each framing it to fit their audience's worldview. This wasn't a debate with a clear victor. It was a snapshot of America's fractured soul, where words like wokeness carry the weight of decades, and a single comment can ignite a firestorm. If you're moved by this clash and want to dive deeper into the stories shaping our world, please subscribe and like this video. Let's keep the conversation going.